My name's Duddy, Saddle Builds and Stuff. Today's video is a Solar Hunter with a Void Twist and a Praxic blade that you can throw and do some absolutely humongous damage. Fortune's favour for a nice cheeky Void Overshield and a bit of extra damage. On a Solar subclass with Acrobat's Dodge for instantaneous Radiant. Add that up with your Gyro Core, which is going to scorch targets on hit as well. But the actual damage you get from this thrown blade is humongous when we stack Radiant and the Void Overshield. 20% extra damage. Look at the state of this. And on top of that, it's not all about damage. We're going to have some crazy survivability with the Energy Conduit, where we're going to get health regeneration based on the number of targets hit. And Cure with On Your Mark. Look at my health there. Nuts. Stay with me, I'll break it down. So the most important part of the build is the Praxic blade. Ranged weapon, we know it works by now. I'll go through a couple of my modifications. I'm running the balanced form. It increases damage against rank and file combatants and rapid final blows. Grant ammo to this weapon and give you health regeneration. I'm running the forceful blade. I'll run the upgrade to that. I just haven't got it yet for a bit of extra impact. But the Gyro Core is the most important one. Scorches targets when you throw the blade. Thrown damage applies Scorch now, which is really, really nice. And on top of that, I'm running the Energy Conduit, which I'm going to show you a little bit later on. It grants health regeneration based on the number of targets hit by the thrown sword. So, obviously, I'm on a Solar subclass. This works really nicely with the Praxic blade, because when you throw it, you're going to scorch, like I said. So, I've got some to show you now. You throw it, it'll set the target on fire on the first hit, and on the way back it will cause a very, very easy ignition, which is all extra damage. And if you add abilities to that as well, like your knife, etc., and your grenade, it's very, very easy ignitions. And now basically adding Fortune's favour. This gives you a Void Overshield when you're at full health, and then once you've got that Void Overshield, you apply 20% extra damage, which is nice just anyway. 20% extra damage. And because we've got a Void Overshield, we're going to proc Singularity Blade. You're going to apply Weakening now. So we're not only applying Scorch, we are applying Weakening at the same time, which is a direct buff to your thrown attacks. Well, any damage, and it actually improves your Scorch ignitions and Scorch damage numbers as well, which is really, really nice. It's just a simple thing to do. Easy damage increase, easy ignition damage. If you add in the two-piece Swordmaster gear set, damaging a target with a sword, glaive, or melee attack exhausts them. Exhausts targets deal reduced outgoing damage, 25% less damage they do to you. So you're going to be scorching, weakening, and exhausting just from throwing the blade. Add in your Sword Storm combo. This is going to surround you with penumbral blades to just do like a little whirlwind effect. This is going to disorientate enemies as well, and you can just keep this going all of the time. So you've got loads of ways to exhaust the targets, weaken, scorch, all working together. Don't forget, exhaust is going to make you even more tanky. They will deal 25% less damage, and I don't have my Fortune Favours on at the moment, but you've also got that Void Overshield as well. Now, the Ferropotent two-piece gear set is chronically underrated. What it states, when your shields begin to regenerate, you gain flinch resistance and damage resistance. It doesn't read very well, but what it actually does is when you gain any type of health regeneration, you're going to get a 10% damage reduction. So whether that's from your Devour, On Your Mark, your Cure, your heal clips, you're going to get that 10% damage reduction every time you heal. And now this leads me onto the last catalyst, the Energy Conduit. Grants health regeneration based on a number of targets hit by your thrown sword. This works absolutely perfectly when you don't have a Void Overshield, because if you just take a look at the left side and my health bar, I'm going to get massive health regeneration, and every time I get that health regeneration, I'm going to get that resist. That's the two-piece Ferropotent. Now, again, bearing in mind, I'm already getting the exhaust as well from the two-piece Swordmaster, so this little combination makes you extremely, extremely tanky every time you heal. 10% DR, exceptional little gear set. Add in your Acrobat's dodge. You're going to get radiant every time you do your dodge. You do like a little dive to the ground. 20% extra damage plus your void overshield and 20% extra damage and weakening. Guys, once you've got all this going together, you can put some serious damage out and be absolutely incredibly tanky in all different types of content. Now, the 10% DI you get from the ferropertin also works incredibly well with on your mark. You're going to get up to ×10, and once you get a ×10 stack, any weapon kill will cure you. So, the ferropertin is a direct buff for your cure on your mark 10 or heal clip weapons, like I said, everything, every time you heal. Now, I know I'm running Fortune's Favour, and I've got that Void Overshield, so it won't actually work at the moment, but it's really important because when you drop that Void Overshield and start taking a bit of damage, that cure and on your mark and all your energy conduit from your sword is all going to kick in, making you be able to get to full health as quick as possible and getting a bit of extra damage resistance every time you get to full health or start healing. So it all just works really, really nicely. Like I said, I've got obviously some clips to show you, but the sort of ideal situation is get you on your mark ×10 up, just in case your Void Overshield drops, and then you're going to be able to weaken everything, and any kill will keep that on your mark going as well. So it is very easy to get that on your mark going, just like an SMG or something like that. Get ×10 really quickly, and then there you go. You could just sort of like keep healing and weakening things and scorching things. I'll quickly go over my aspects of fragments on your mark, which we've touched on. Another really good one is Gunpowder Gamble. This got buffed. If you shoot it while it's in the air now, it does incredible damage. It's a grenade, remember, that's important. Tripman grenade, knife trick, whichever ones you want. Specifically something that scorches. I like knife trick and Tripman. Acrobat's dodge, which we've touched on to get that radiant. Ember of Solace, so we get 15 seconds of radiant instead of 10. Ember of Ashes to improve your scorch stacks. That one's quite important for your ignitions. Very easy to do. Ember of Char to make my ignitions scorch nearby targets. I'm also running Ember of Eruption to make my ignitions have an increased area of effect. And the very last one is another way to cure. Ember of Resolve. Solar Grenade Final Blows will cure you. That will again proc that ferropertin. And then I'm also running a couple of kinetic surges mods to get a 17% damage increase. There's my gear stats, and now I'm going to show you the build working. This was a 3 feet dungeon, so the enemies was a little bit tankier, but you can sort of see how much damage you could do once you've got your radiant going. 2 hits will kill one of these behemoths 90% of the time, and it's very easy one shot against them shielded cabal as well. So once you've got your Gambler's dodge going, your overshield, your extra 20% damage from Fortune's Favour, your radiant, it just wrecks things really good. The survivability on the build is top notch because it's kind of hard to explain, but you've got like a little backup plan in the background working. You've got your void overshield, and more often than not, you're going to have your ×10 there from on your mark. You've also got power from pain as well, where you can proc devour, but don't bank on that one. That's just a bonus. You're not really needed, if I'm honest, because you've got your ×10 working in the background from on your mark, which is going to cure. Very easy to do, just in case that void overshield drops. But the damage is really impressive for me. All them scorching effects that you're going to get from your abilities anyway, and your ignitions, and then once you start getting your radiant going on your sword, it is absolutely nuts. It could very easily deal with champions like so from a distance, nice and safe, and again you're exhausting, etc. I fully believe the 2-piece Swordmaster, 2-piece Ferropotent is as good as 2-piece Texec, 2-piece Smoke Jumper from last season, and they're quite easy to farm out, so I highly suggest you get that if you like running swords, glaives and melee builds. It's an incredible gear set, chronically underrated. I think what'll happen, people will start realising it's really good in a couple of weeks, maybe, but I'm here to tell you now, it's really, really good. Get on it. There's another little clip of damaging a champion, just absolutely wrecking him. And then this Hive Lucent Knight in here, he just gets absolutely destroyed in a moment. There's your Ember of Resolve working as well from grenade kills, and that works with your Gunpowder Gamble as well, don't forget. Gunpowder Gamble is really, really good. That's a big buff. Don't forget Hunters. Actually got a super buff as well. All your golden guns and your blade barrages now, they all got a buff. Your golden guns now scorch as well. So, and melee's even got a buff as well. So hunters are actually in a really good place now, specifically solar ones. And then that lucid night there just gets absolutely destroyed. Perfect for close range combat as well if you need to. Again, you got that grenade kill there, proccing that cure if needed. You're also weakening everything. You've got your background going. You notice I've got Devour there. You can proc that occasionally, but it's like I said, it's not something to bank on your ignitions. Not only are they getting buffed by the weakening, they're also really good for unstoppable things as well. And like I said, you've got that Mark 10 going. You're on your Mark times 10, so any kill will keep you cured when your Void Overshield drops. Couple of other weapons to consider. Repulsor Brace weapons, destabilizing rounds weapons, because if you do actually drop your Void Overshield, you've got all that healing in the background just behind your Void Overshield, and if you do want to regen your Void Overshield in a quick situation, you've got your Void Apex to consider, like Repulsor Brace. Look on my Overshield there, straight back. That's the Repulsor Brace destabilizing combo. Really good. It works pretty good against champions in the GM as well. Now, these are incredibly tanky. All the enemies in here now, as we know, if you've done this GM, or this version of the GMs, they feel incredibly tanky. Primary ammo weapons just do absolutely nothing here, so I just would suggest just running double specials if I was you. But it's really good. This tanky tank, the old tanky tank gets absolutely rinsed once you've got that radiant going and that weakening effects. And again, you'll see there, on your Mark times 10, which will cure me just that little bit there. If you just sow it, giving me chance for the Overshield to kick in. And again, just for like normal tier ads in the Grandmaster, this sword really shines. It just absolutely wrecks them. Really good for anti-barriers, obviously. It's got anti-barrier built into this sword. And again, you can actually use your close range combo as well if needed. But I really just love throwing this sword, and you can just see enemies just getting chunked. And then the last little thing I want to show you is the energy conduit. In this clip here, it's all working together. You'll notice I've got my Void Overshield again. And my health just gets absolutely rinsed here by that turret. I actually forgot about it, but watch my health regeneration and that resist kick in. It just helps just so much. That is the video. I'll leave a dim link. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.